When the original Saints Row was released, many spoke of it as a potential competitor to the highly acclaimed GTA franchise. However, we all know that changed when Saints Row III went for a completely different route, taking on the crazy and wacky atmosphere which ended up working out pretty well for the franchise. In fact, many will say that Saints Row III is the high point in the franchise, and rightfully so. It kept some of the realism but added an insane amount of comedy and absurdity in addition to the boatload of DLC. Anybody remember the purple dildo? Saints Row III Remastered brings in all of that 30 plus pieces of DLC into one complete remastered package for PC, PS4 and Xbox One. In an era where remastered titles are very common, Saints Row III really tries to show off how a remastered should be done. Does it succeed? Well, kinda. Right from the start, you'd immediately notice the visual improvements over the original game. Smoother frame rate, enhanced lighting, and reworked models, Saints Row III Remastered took a step further by not only giving the game a graphical overhaul, but as mentioned, many of the models, including some of the character models, and basically every vehicle and weapon has been completely reworked from the ground up. On PC it runs very smooth, but unfortunately on consoles it is locked to 30 frames per second, but no matter how much chaos is happening on the screen, not once did I experience any frame rate issue. If you've ever played Saints Row III, then you know how crazy this game can get, but if you have never experienced this title, then strap in because you're in for one wild ride. From the opening segment where you jump out of a plane, shoot the windows in order to jump back in only to jump back out again, Saints Row III does not shy away from unrealistic but fun-packed action scenes that makes you slightly chuckle at how ridiculous and fun this is. Even though some movement does feel a bit old for today's standards, there is a lot of the gameplay elements that just works. From the quick hijacking to the way paths are indicated within the game, Saints Row III knew what kind of game it tried to be, and it succeeded at doing so. It's not groundbreaking by any means, and the game does have a very arcade-like feel to it, especially when it comes to using vehicles. The combat is fine, but does feel a bit stiff at some points, and I had hoped they would have improved it, and the gunplay is easy to manage, especially considering that you'll be shooting a lot of guns in this game, with most of them being insanely crazy. I did experience an issue where it took me some tinkering to get the controller to work on PC, as I was playing the PC version, and often it felt like the controls were a bit unresponsive, but hopefully that will be fixed in future updates. As for the story, the game drops you in Steelport with rival gangs, where you basically have to take over the city. It isn't too complicated, but it is definitely enjoyable. After the opening section, you'll get a chance to create your own character. I opted for a Silver Surfer lookalike, and it's an absolute joy seeing my character in practically every cutscene. The voice work still holds up today, as does the sound effects. You can even change your voice to a zombie, and the NPCs does a fair job as well. At times though, the story did make me cringe a little bit, as considering this came out in 2011, many of the humor simply doesn't hold up today, especially in the environment we live in today. The story kind of falls off closer towards the end, but once you're done with the main campaign, there is still so much to do. Rushing through the campaign made me realize how much other stuff there is to do, and this package is definitely value for money. The open world is just so much fun to mess around in, but at times it just doesn't feel like a living one. Earning street cred and getting money is one of the biggest reasons for exploring the city, and thankfully Saints Row III rewards you for almost everything you do, therefore nothing feels like a waste of time. You can also play the entire game with a friend, but at the time of the review I did not test the multiplayer, so I cannot really comment on that part. Saints Row III Remaster is a game that doesn't push for realism, nor is it trying to be anything new. It just wants you to have a good time, and it definitely succeeds at that. In an era where almost every open world game strives for realism, Saints Row the Third feels fresh and relaxing. Saints Row the Third Remastered feels fresh and relaxing. Considering it is a remaster, it isn't breaking any new grounds, but it's a great example of how a remaster should be done. If you've never played Saints Row the Third, it is a fantastic package, and for older fans, it'll be a welcome home package many might have been waiting for. Had I put a score on this, then I'd easily give it an 8 out of 10. Considering I rushed through the game to complete the campaign, I cannot wait to jump back in and get that 100% achievement rating by completing all of the side quests. I wish to thank the publishers Deep Silver for providing me with a review key, and for more gaming content, check out the rest of my channel. If you enjoyed this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, then give me a thumbs down, but please tell me why so I can improve on my videos. My name is Frank, I'm the RedTieGuy, and frankly, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.